Alright folks, I wanted to make a video just about these Goodyear MTRs. These are the 37 12.5 by 16.5 military takeoffs. Yeah, not terribly thrilled with these so far, but hopefully they end up being better than they've been. I picked these up down off a nice surplus company in Philadelphia. Really affordable tires. They're used. They're about 80 to 90% tread. You can get them for about 40 to 50 bucks a piece. This is the new style, the MTR. Over here we have the Olde Goodyear MT. These are both the military OZs. I will say that these MTRs, I like the tread pattern. I think they look really cool, but so far these tires have just been pieces of shit. And here's why. Now granted, these are takeoffs, and there's different reasons why the military would take these off and sell them to the public. One is that they have a puncture or a flat issue and they've been replaced. Other times the Humvee just went in for a rebuild or service and they got all new tires. The military doesn't play around with this stuff. They don't have time to be dealing with patches and shit. So if there's anything wrong, just replace it. They have money to spend. If you buy these in the civilian market, I think they're like $700 a piece, or $500 to $700 a piece, which is just absolutely absurd. Now these are supposed to have Kevlar in them, and they're supposed to be stronger than those. Now these, I had nails in them. I've never had any kind of sidewall puncture. I bought 4 of these. Of course, they're not mounted on rims. You have to do that yourself, and you're not going to know if you have a puncture or an air leak until you mount them. Well, 3 out of the 4 that I've had so far have had punctures, which sucks and is probably the reason they're taken off. All these are date coded of 2016, so they're not terribly old tires. There's no problems with dry rotting. But as you can see right here, we have a piece of wood that is penetrated through the sidewall and now is causing a leak. That's wood, not metal, just wood, just a splinter of wood that went through this tire. Now you can see here the tread is very good. It still has all of its little nubbies on the side. So this is, for all intents and purposes, a pretty good tire. The problem is that when you're running on a double beat lock, Hutchinson style beat lock wheel, you can't run an inner tube in these. Now you can run inner tubes in radial tires. They make a specific tube for that, and that's what I would like to do. However, because I'm running a PVC insert, I cannot run a inner tube without running a special valve stem, and it just becomes a huge hassle. Now with the affordable nature of these tires, I'm gonna have to end up going and buying quite a few more. However, this is what I have to deal with right now. So now in something like this, if you took this to a tire shop, they would not fix that. They would say that's a sidewall puncture. That is not something that they can fix. If it's inside the tread blocks, they will. If it's over here, they won't. I could put a plug in here. It would probably hold up fine, but what I'm actually gonna do is re-dismount the tire and put a patch in the inside. I'm gonna run up to the local tractor store and buy a whole bunch of patches for semis, because I have to patch this one. I have to patch this one, which I already plugged. And it's holding just fine, but you really don't want to be running plugs. And again, you don't really want to be patching in this area. You want to patch in the tread block. Anything towards the side of the carcass is weaker, and it's really not a good idea to do that. But because this truck is mainly for off-road, I'm not terribly concerned about it. The worst of the 3 that have punctures, again, 3 out of 4 have had punctures. This is really bumming me out because, you know, I went all the way down to Philadelphia to get these. Now the company, I don't blame them, they don't know. But this one, the inside bladder in here, there was a sidewall puncture right about in this area, and it caused the inner membrane to kind of come loose. So I had to cut that back, and I'm gonna go out and get a patch. This is that PVC insert I was talking about. But so far, these Goodyear MTRs, great looking tire, should ride nice on the road, but strength-wise, a real piece of crap. I am not impressed with these at all. This Kevlar nonsense is just that, nonsense. Come over here, you can see that these older ones, these MTs, I mean, I've basically worn these completely out, all the way down. They're starting to get the dry rot going on the sidewalls, but they have been great. They've taken screws, they've been off-road, had no problems. These, I'm looking at this is just a chunk of wood. If I air down my tires and I'm in an off-road situation, I drive over a stick, I'm gonna get a freaking flat. It's just, it's ridiculous. So yeah, there's my little rant about these Goodyear MTR military OZs. If I was in the market, as much as I like the look of this tire and I think it might perform a little better air down off-road, I would stick with the old school style tires. They're way tougher. These things are garbage. And that's that. Guys, look for an upcoming video on bead locks and how they work, since I've been doing all these changeovers. 12 bolts, unrecentered, 8 bolts, recentered, PVC inserts, run flats. We're going to do a whole video series on all that stuff. So once again, guys, thanks for watching, and yeah, avoid these tires until they do some kind of update. My one friend in the National Guard was telling me that they've actually recalled these, and they are awaiting a new reissue. So maybe these things are just defective. Maybe the compound was weak or bad. I don't really know, but 3 out of 4 had punctures.